A really solid win for our program today. I'm really proud of our girls and particularly our seniors. I thought that our seniors really held us together, played with a lot of poise. I thought they defended really well, stuck to the game plan, and every time K-State made a run, I felt like we answered it. And then our young kids, Bailey, Jasmine, Riley, they came in, and Kyla as well. They came in and just gave us a good punch, offensive punch, some defense. Bailey just gives us some athleticism and some explosiveness on the perimeter, which is really nice to have. But overall, I just thought, it wasn't a perfect game by any means. Still we have too many turnovers. Obviously, we weren't great at the free throw line. But for us to still, secure a double-digit win is fantastic, and especially on our home court. So really, really proud of them.
Bryn, obviously, big past 2 games for you. What have you seen personally just opening up on the offense the past couple of ones?
I don't feel like I'm forcing anything right now. I feel like my teammates are doing a really good job of finding me when I'm open. I feel like I haven't taken a contested shot in a while, which is really nice. And I just think we're working our offense so well right now that the ball is just moving where it needs to be right now. And
Bailey, they said, or Kansas State said after the game that they had a big problem with you, obviously, in that second half. What kind of clicked for you between the first and the second?
I think for me, this game was kind of different because the last time when we were at Kansas State, I had to go out with an injury. So coming back, playing against them, it was nice to be on the court. And then, like Brent said, the ball was just moving well and finding the open people.
It's pretty efficient with 20 minutes, isn't it? 16 points and a girl.
Bryn, the past few games, the offense has struggled. What was it about today that y'all got going early and then throughout?
I think the past couple of days we've really had an emphasis on execution. I don't think we've been sticking to our offensive game plan very well the past couple of games. So today, that was a really big key for our win, and I thought we did a really good job of that and being really patient. I thought our patience is what really allowed us to get the ball where it needed to be.
And just how important was this game for y'all to try to, stack some wins together and get a streak going in February?
We've been saying that since it's the second half of conference, like this is a new season. We're in charge of our own destiny. No one else can control us but us. So just really taking control of what we want to do and having the mindset and focus to go out and do it. Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Who wants to start us off for Coach Gurley? Go to Mason in the back, and we'll come up front to Andrew. Coach, I know you said there's obviously room to improve on this game, but still you had 4 players today with 15-plus points. They credited that to the ball movement. I guess what were you seeing from the sideline with just how much the ball was moving around for you guys today?
Yeah, well, they were changing defenses up quite a bit, and we really talked about against the zone to get paint touches, whether that's a post touch or a dribble penetration, and we're so much better when that happens or when we reverse the basketball. I think when we get good ball movement, our kids are catch in rhythm. We have some really good shooters, but we're rhythm shooters, and I've said that before, and I think you could tell tonight we were catching it in rhythm and had a really good touch about us and a really good pace. And then when they did go man, I thought our kids did a great job of continuing to attack, got themselves to the free throw line some, got the ball inside in the paint, and just really did a good job of offensive execution. So I think it was just a concentration factor. I think that, they've wanted to change their season around, 3 losses in a row, and they didn't like that at all. And I thought that they took advantage of a great opportunity today.
A lot of small ball for you guys today, too. Was that always the game plan going in, or was that just them getting hot and you got to keep them in?
It's definitely a game plan going in against K-State because they do such a good job and they're so big on the perimeter of finding mismatches that we wanted to go small and try to just switch all the screens on the perimeter with them so that we could keep them in front of us. They do a really good job of getting to the rim and obviously getting to free throw line. We didn't do a very good job of keeping them off the free throw line, but I thought that we limited their 3-point attempts because of our pressure on the perimeter.
Jazz Shavers and Bailey Maupin, 17 and 16 for them. At this point in the year with their first year, How far have you seen them come from the beginning to now?
Yeah, so much poise about those two young kids, and I think just some maturity and some growth. I think they really understand the offense better. I think they see where they can score in the offense, and I think they're trusting their teammates. That's where I really want to give our seniors credit, because our seniors, I think, do some of the hard stuff as far as like getting to the paint or making the extra pass or maybe setting the screen. And Bailey and Jasmine are doing a great job of trusting them and letting the ball come to them, or understanding the offense and where they can score and where they can attack. So those two are going to cause a lot of problems for a while for some other people. And I think that if they can continue to just play within themselves and trust the offense and their teammates, good things are going to happen for them.
Coach, how impressed are you by the bench scoring today? They scored 23 points. How impressed were you by them just kind of taking the load off the starters?
Yeah, I think it certainly helps. We have said that our depth certainly has helped us all year long, and we have different lineups that different people can score in, and having Bailey back certainly helps. She's been out for the past few games, and she was an offensive punch for us. And so for us to be able to bring her in off the bench and for her to provide us that type of offense, I think is great, and it's certainly going to cause some trouble, I think, for opponents.
And obviously we just talked about it, but how do you feel about Bryn's this stretch of games so far where she's just knocking down 3 after 3?
Yeah, I think she's playing really confident. I think she's playing with a lot of senior urgency. I think you saw that against the Oklahoma State in the Oklahoma State game, that she was really trying to put her team on her back a little bit and to prolong our season. We want to continue to build our resume, and we want to continue to play for March. And I think that that's what she's playing with, is that sense of urgency, but so much confidence, which as a coach and her mother, I'm really glad to see that she has that confidence going into the second half of conference play.
There was a point in the third quarter that Kansas State got the deficit down to 3. What did your team show you from that point on?
Yeah, I don't even think that I had to call a timeout for that. I think a natural timeout occurred, a media timeout occurred, but in that timeout, you could tell they were frustrated with themselves for, a couple of back-to-back turnovers that were very uncharacteristic for tonight, and then just losing some shooters on the perimeter and fouling too much. And I thought we saw a lot of poise, a lot of togetherness, a lot of coachability. They stuck together, and they stayed together and didn't. They just didn't panic, and I liked that maturity in them and that experience.
Coach tonight, obviously, she got the scoring going a little bit later, but it took her a second. But through the first parts of the game, she was scrapping for rebounds, doing everything else. I guess, what does that say about her mindset and the mindset of the entire team to help however they can, even when shots aren't falling?
Yeah, I think that's important for our entire team to learn, is that we have a lot of weapons. So it's not always about scoring points. It's more about helping your teammates score or defending or getting rebounds. And there's other ways that you can contribute. And, we've been telling Bree for a long time that she's not a one-dimensional player. She can do a variety of things. And she's just as good on the defensive side of the ball as she is on offense. And I think that you saw her fight through some personal difficulties throughout the game, and meaning just she's kind of been in a tiny bit of a shooting slump, and I thought that she played within herself and got to the free throw line, kind of fought that battle herself, and then really started feeling confident on the offensive end.
You guys are heading to UT, obviously, after this game. What's a game like this do for confidence going into Austin, especially after beating UT here already and beating them last year in Austin, too?
At this point in the season, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You want to be confident, right? And you want to have some momentum. And so every win that we can put under our belt is going to build us that confidence. It's certainly going to make us prepare, I think, with a little bit better attitude and maybe a little bit more energy. Winning certainly cures a lot of ails. So I'm glad that we have that victory under our belt and are able to really focus on the UT game plan. We know they're going to come after us hard, and we're going to have to really step up, and particularly on their home court. But we're excited about the challenge and ready to go to work.
Coach, one of K-State's strengths you mentioned was shooting from the 3. How did Tech's defense prevent them from getting ahead?
Yeah, I thought our kids did a great job of knowing personnel, of knowing scout. They really did a great job of getting to shooters and just not letting them get a free look. I thought they that we really executed ball screens well, so that we didn't have any mismatches where that they could get around one and make two take us to kick out to shooters. So I thought our kids just really followed our game plan well.
And beating K-State in Manhattan and then coming here and beating them again, what does that do for this team, knowing that, you know, you can rebeat, or if you fall short, you can come back and beat them the second time?
Yeah, it's good to have a sweep. You know, this is our first sweep this year of a conference team, and so that's important to us. And it is good to be able to back it up. You know, when you lose a game, usually the team that lost probably makes the most adjustments, right? And so sometimes when you go in as the winner, you can get caught off guard because you don't adjust some things because it worked the first time. So I think that our kids really listened to us and our game plan moving into this game. I think they did not take K-State lightly by any means, and really just put together a complete game.
Now with Bryn hitting that career record at OSU and then coming here and shooting that three, what do you think that does for her in her confidence going into the rest of the
Yeah, I think she's playing, like I said, I think she's playing with a lot of confidence right now, a lot of senior urgency, and she's being a great leader for us too. You know, she's playing with a lot of passion and just hunger in her eyes, and I think that's really important for seniors to do at this point in the season. And she's being a great leader for us. You know, I think every day we get the same thing from Bryn, and that's important. You know, as leaders, you got to be consistent, and I think that her team is following her right now, and I think that's really important.
Coach, how impressed were you by Serena Sundell today?
Yeah, Serena's a great player, and we knew that going in. You know, we liked that we got her in a little bit of foul trouble early, and they had to play her with a couple of fouls. You know, she gets to the rim well, and obviously got to the free throw line really well on us, and we're going to have to adjust that for the next time we play them, you know, if it's in the tournament or whenever. But she's a very, very good player, and I've always been impressed with her play.